What's up, YouTube? It's Yemi here again, and I hope you guys are doing great. I know you guys have been expecting this new video, and I'm definitely ready for you guys as well, because today I'm going to be talking about one of the most important tools in forex trading, which is the horizontal support and resistance. And I'm going to be simplifying it in a way that you guys will find it very easy to assimilate. This is really going to be power packed, and I want you guys to just sit back and settle in because this is going to be worth every single minute of your time. So thank you. So guys, let's get straight into it. Before we get into it, I want you guys to pay very good attention because this is one of the most important tools in the forex market. Because you see the horizontal support and resistances almost everywhere in the market. So now let's get straight into it. What are horizontal supports and resistances? What are horizontal supports? What are horizontal support and resistances? For us to understand and answer this question, we need to draw it out to understand the principle upon which these horizontal supports and resistances are. So remember from our first video, we spoke about chart structure. If you've not watched it, you can go back to watch chart structures on our YouTube channel. We said the principle upon which chart structures are formed, is prices moving higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and so on and so forth. So we identify the fact that we have a high, we have a low, then we have a new high, price retraces back to give us a low, new high, and we have a low. Now, if you use the M24 app or you use the TradingView app, you're definitely going to have your horizontal support and resistance tool that identify this out. So in essence, what are horizontal supports and resistance? They are actually areas of the market where price finds literally supports and resistances upon which price find the next momentum to move in the direction of the trend. So if we understand this horizontal resistance, that means we can actually look for trade opportunities at areas of horizontal supports and resistance. And the same thing apply in the case of a sell as well. When price break this, it turns this into resistance, it keeps coming down, turn this into resistance, and it keeps coming back down. So let's identify it. In this case, we have this level right here as well. So what does this mean? This means that if we actually know and understand how to trade the horizontal support resistance, we could actually find trade opportunities at these areas respectively. So this is what horizontal support and resistance looks like. They are actually areas, specific areas within a chart structure where price either ends the downward or upward move in and ready to find the momentum to the next direction of the trend. So now that we understand what they are, we actually have two types of horizontal support and resistance, and I will explain what I mean. So we have types of variation of horizontal supports and resistance. So usually we have the first one, which is the most popular one, which is the one that you see all the time in the market, which is just the literal one right here, where price looks for an area of horizontal support, where price finds an area of horizontal support, retraces back and actually find an opportunity and lift off. This is the most common one we see in the market. And usually we will say this is our area where we can find our trade entry. Now we have another type in the market. Actually, we have another type in the market which might not be as direct as this, not as textbook-like example like this, but it's also present in the market and you see it all the time. And many people actually just think if the price, for example, just continues to, if the price, for example, just breaks this in a second, if the price, for example, break this level and just give us something like this, then this level right here, this particular level right here, it's not valid anymore, because okay, it has broken it and it's disrespecting it, which is what leads us into the second type of horizontal support and resistance. So say we have a chart structure going to the upside, now we have a situation where price gets back and kind of give us a retracement right here, and price gets back to this level, then it continues to go to the upside. We actually, the first thing we see right here is we have many people, especially new traders, are going to think, okay, I'm confused, I don't understand what the market is doing. But that is not the case, because all you have to do is just identify this particular level right here. So you identify this particular level right here. So let me bring it up so that you can understand clearly what we are trying to do. So let me erase this for a second. So usually maybe we have something like this. Let me erase this. All right, let me erase this. Okay, let's go over again. So maybe we have a situation whereby price has violated this particular point, and you can see right here it broke in below it. So what do we have? We have probably a situation where price goes up to the upside and finally comes down right here and finally picks up. There's a chance that many traders are going to miss this opportunity to actually have a trade opportunity right here. Why? Because they concluded that because this right here did not respect this right here, did not respect this right here, did not respect. So we believe we're confused. I'm just going to leave this market, not understanding the fact that price is still maintaining the major previous resistance, and price will actually come back to prices level, and we can finally have a trade entry opportunity upon confirmation. So these are the two types of variations of trend line that we have in the market. The very first one, which is this one right here, that's straightforward and direct. The second one is this one right here, which is not as straightforward as direct. But two of them are very important patterns or ways to use the horizontal supports and resistances. So now that we understand this, let us go to the market like real quick, or before we even go to the market, let's talk about how to use both of these examples to find trading opportunities in the market. It's really very simple, right? Your goal at the end of the day, in this case, we have a case of, this is a case of a buy right here. Your goal at the end of the day is to be able to buy your trade right on this level. Your goal at the end of the day is to be able to take your buy opportunity right on this level and your buy opportunity right on this level upon candlestick confirmation. People use candlesticks. Some people use mini structural chain. I'm a more conservative trader, so I use the mini structural change. So what does it look like? So let us draw it out again. So we have a situation right here. So let's look for, let's look for the basic example right here. So we have a situation, prices find a higher high, higher low, then finally hit this level and it's going back to the upside. So let's just identify, our horizontal support on resistance. And let's take this out for a second. Let's take this out for a second. Let's take this out. So how do I find a trade opportunity using, how do I find a trade opportunity, using the basic example? So usually when price is coming down, it begins to retrace, it's losing momentum, it begins to retrace. When price gets to this level, the first thing I do is identify this level as this area of previous resistance, and I might be finding an opportunity right here. So what's the next thing I do? I want to see how price is going to react, with the new lower high structure it has been forming all along. And what do I mean? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. All I want to see at the end of the day is the break of this particular structure. So the last lower high structure is what I'm going to be looking for the market to break. So if the market hits this level, which is my first confirmation, then the next thing I want to see is price breaks this, and when it breaks this, I can buy to the next resistance. Simple. The concept of trading support and resistance is simple. Some people use the candlestick, but personally, I think the candlestick is not enough confirmation. Always wait for structural break. In my own case, I do not just wait for structural break alone. I actually do wait for the counter trend line break as well. So it gives me a double confirmation because I am a conservative trader. So let's look for the second, let's look at the second, example. So we say we have a situation as well when if prices make it higher high, higher low, higher high, then price, give us something like this and goes back up and comes back to this point. So let's stop right there and let's bring out our horizontal support and resistance out. So we have a situation where first thing we want to identify is the price has given us a major resistance right here. And the major resistance has been broken right at this point. You can see it being broken right at this point. You can see disrespect, disrespect, and disrespect. So what do I do right at this point? Let's take this off. So let me take this off real quick. So let's say we have a situation where price was making a push upside. Now I want to see how price is going to react with this level. So usually price will give you that, usually price is going to give you that lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Like I said, the same strategy. I want to see if the market is going to break the last, retracing and meaningful lower high. Then, what is the next thing I look out for? I look forward for, a buy opportunity to the next high or either to the next, zone to the left side, as the case may be, right? And also, I would love to see the counter trend line break, which is a added confirmation for me as well. So this right here is the first type of candlestick confirmation, horizontal trend line support. This is the second type. So what are we going to do now is let us go into the live chart. So let us go into the live chart to actually look for live, examples. So let's go to the live chart real quick. So the first thing we want to see, right, is let's look for just basic horizontal supports and resistances. You can see them make use of the horizontal support and resistance tool right here. You can see right here, we have the horizontal support turn into resistance. So in my own case, what am I looking out for? I'm definitely looking out for, a break of why price is going back. I'm actually looking for a break of this right here, and I put my stop loss, right above the last low, right here, somewhere around the spot right here. I would have put my stop loss, or I look at the previous area of support and I move my stop loss to the, right some pips below. And then my first target will definitely be somewhere around this point right here. And my second target would be the next, support right to this point. So this is just how to trade it, like literally Let's look for, other let's look for other examples, right? So what am I looking for? Horizontal support and resistance. This is the type 1, which is the most direct and straightforward on. So what's the first thing I want to look out for? I look out for the way the market is moving. And right here is when I'll probably consider, for candlestick traders, you know, upon this rejection, you find, your sell. But because I'm a more conservative trader, I'll probably look out for this break. Then I put my stop loss right here and I target this level. Let me take this off and I target this level right here. This level right here as my tick one. Then depending on the type of analysis that I do, from the bigger time frame, I might even be targeting like a longer, distance as the case may be. So this is the primary example of how to trade, the support and resistance, the basic one, which is the first one. So let's look for the second one, which is usually the harder one, right? So now let's look at maybe USD CHF. You can go on in the market and you can find different types of examples in the market. So let's look at this USD CHF, for example. So let's look at this. We have a situation where price is moving on the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, then low, and you can see price started to disrespect this and went to the upside. So let me take this off real quick. So apparently I have this previous high resistance, and you can see all of these ranges right here are price disrespecting. And now what do I have right here? I have price make a push to this level. So let me identify that out. So I have this resistance area now turned into the support right at this point. Now, what do I wait for? I wait for the break of what the last low. So what does the last low looks like? Lower high. I have a lower high right here. So what do I do right here? You wait to see if this is going to break. Usually I love to wait on the lower time frame. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame. I love to wait on the lower time frame. What do I have right here? I have a situation when the lower time frame closes right here. So I put my stop loss behind the last low. I target this level right here as my take profit, which is right at this level. And if you've done that, you might have actually some very nice risk reward, about 1 to 4 point risk reward. So you can see how we have price initially break this level. Now, what the price do? We thought it was going to retest at first, but look at it, it broke it right here. It broke it right here, disrespected, disrespected, disrespected. Now came right here to respect. And what do we have right here? We used my most preferable, which is structural change, and I found an entry in the market. So I want you guys to take these examples and just go into the market, and you're going to find a lot of them. There's a lot of these opportunities right in the market. There's a lot of them right in the market. Let me show you one. I can see one like right now. Look at this, for example, prices moving on higher high, higher low, higher high. You can see higher low, sorry, lower low. Now you can see lower high, price made a push and it broke it. So what does happen right here? I have this high right here. And what the price do? Let's magnify it real quick. What the price do? I identified this high right here. Identified this high right here. And look at what price did. First, it disrespected it right here, disrespected it right here, and gave us an entry right here. So if I was going to enter this trade, how would I have entered this particular trade? Is I would have waited for a structural break on the lower time frame. So let me see if I'm able to take a trade off the lower time frame. Definitely, like I said, I use the counter trend line as well, right, to find my entry. And I would have actually looked out for a break of this level. And if I could find a break of that level, I could have and executed my trade right here, my stop loss right here, and use my, position sizing to make sure I don't go beyond the risk. And my first target is going to be right at this point. where it's going to be my second target, depending on trading the higher time frame. You know, when I look to the left, depending on the analysis I do, I can as well, keep riding till it gets to the next, I maybe on daily time frame, somewhere, maybe somewhere around this point. I could have rode this somewhere to this point right here, and it could have given me a very nice, trade opportunity. So you can always look for examples upon examples upon examples, in the Forex market. The basic example, which I just taught you guys right now, and the basic example, and the much more not, the much more overlooked examples in the market. So now that you understand that, I think those are very simple for you to understand. All you got to do is identify the previous resistance or support has been broken, wait to see price reaction around that point, and when price is making a reaction around that point, identify the chart structure that price was forming with, and wait for the break and continuation in the direction of the trend. And it's really that simple. Okay. Now, if that was all Forex market was about, it would have been nice. But Forex market is really more advanced than that, right? And if that was it, everybody would be a millionaire right now, right? But because the market is generating so much information every minute, so it makes it really complicated for us to be able to identify this level. So that's why you got to train your eyes and have this knowledge so that you can be able to use it to execute in the market. So trading support and resistances in the market isn't the usual literal, example that I'm showing you guys right here, but there's more to it. Now, there's an advanced, and this is why I want you guys to pay attention. There's actually an advanced way that you can use in the market to actually, that you can use the horizontal and support and resistances in the market. And I'm going to show you guys everything. Okay. So there's something, let's get back to the whiteboard. There's something in the Forex market we call zones, right? Areas of value, right? So we call them either zones, hold up, let me make this bigger. We call them key value areas. Some people call them areas of interest. Some people call it zones interest. So what does this mean, and how is it really significant in the Forex market? Like I said, the market is not just going to present you a literal, support and resistance for you to trade, because it's been printing a lot of information, and this is a lot of information when you're doing your multi-time frame analysis that you sometimes may not even see the support and resistances that the market is presenting you, but it's going to present it in zones because of the previous information that the market has been generating. So what does it mean? What do I mean? So let's draw something real quick. So say this is a live chart right here. We have a live chart right here. Now price coming right here. You see it right here. So let's say this is the movement of price, right? And prices move in a very crazy way, So let's say this is the movement of price. See, you can see right here. Okay. So let's say this is maybe a 1 hour time frame of any pair of your choice. So now you see, you can't do selective analysis as much in the market where, oh, you're just gonna say, you know what, I want to place my support and resistance right here and trade the market. Now you can't do that, right? Because you're going to factor in all this information into the market. I'm giving you a realistic approach to Forex trading right now. So what do you do? How can horizontal support and resistance, how can they help us to simplify this chart to finding key areas of interest? So the first thing is, what are areas of interest? Areas of interest are areas in the forex market where the market intersects more than one. So 1, 2, 3. So all of this area right here turns to a zone of interest, because when price got here, we saw a rejection. When price got here, we saw a rejection. When price got here, we saw a rejection. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4. All of those zones right here becomes another area of interest, or zones of interest, or key value area, depending on what different trader call it, and so on and so forth. You can see it right here. You see it right here. So this is the advanced way of using the horizontal supports and resistances. So let me take this off real quick and let's identify that. So the first one, right, is what? We have the first one right here, which is all of the zone right here. You see? So we have a zone, we have a zone of interest right here. We have a zone of interest right here. You see? So what does this mean? Price found the resistance, price found the resistance here, found the resistance here, found the resistance here. So what this means is, sometimes in the future, price might actually get back to this level right here, give us something like this, get back to this level, and probably come back to reject this level again. And what does that mean? We could be finding an area of trade opportunity, which is an interest right here. And this is what gives back to the principle of supply and demand. Okay, so now let's look for other ones and let's identify them out. So we have another one right here, which is this area. Okay, let me take this out. So we have another one right here, which is this area right here. So as you can see, we have another area of interest right here, which is what you can see right here. We have price making a resistance, 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 and support. So let's identify more key area of interest, zones, or whatever you want to call it, right? So let's identify this again. As you can see right here, using our just literal definition, that area of interest or key value area here when the market confluence is more than one. You can see this is 4, 5, and we have 6, making it a stronger area of interest. And we have the last one right here, which is somewhere around this point right here. So we have the last one right here, which is the spot right here, which you can see right here. You can see it's support, support, and support. So there's a chance that later on in the future, market might hit any of this level and might decide to react and reject. All you have to do is wait patiently and see what the market is going to do. Area of interest. This is what it is in the market. And you can use the horizontal support and resistances only to identify this area. Now, what's the significance of what we just did? The significance of this is what it puts more perspective into your market. It puts more perspectives into your market, and it helps you find a trade opportunity all over your chart. So let me give you an example. All right, you could have found a buy trade opportunity right at this point. Hold up. So let me give you guys an example. So you could have found a buy trade opportunity right here. You could have found a sell trade opportunity right here, a buy right here, a sell right here to this next zone. When it breaks the zone, right, and price starts to move up, you could have found a buy opportunity right to the zone, a sell opportunity right to the zone, buy opportunity, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell to the next zone, and as the case may be. So it gives you leverage to finding trade opportunities in the market. So now let me define. Key value areas are areas in the market where price has rejected or tested more than 2 or 3 times. As you can see, everything you see right here is more than 2 or 3 times, right? It's either it's 2 times or 3 times. So that tells you, it gives you an idea that later on in the future, this point might hold, right? And what is the significance of using this horizontal support and resistance tool to find this area? Is that it puts our market, our chart into perspective, and it helps us to break the market chart down in such a way that we have different trade opportunities, and we can be able to take these opportunities and buy it to the next zone or sell it to the next zone. So, and this is where I'm trying to get to, which is what the forex market is all about. So let's go into the live chat and let's look at examples, right? I'm going to show you guys how to find, all of this area of interest. So let's take it out. Let's look at the GBP USD as a whole. Let's look at the GBP USD as a whole. Now, when you have a trade like this on the monthly time frame, it looks really so random because you actually do not actually know, like, what am I supposed to do with this information? This is where your horizontal support and resistance tool comes in, and you can use it to actually finding, different zones in the market, zones of value in the market, where you can now break down your chart and you have an understanding of what the market is doing. So usually I will look at the market, from experience and say, you know what, I have a resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance, right? This area connects. I have a support right here, support right here. I have some support right here, resistance right here, resistance right here, resistance right here. Then I have a support right here, support right here, support right here, and pricing to, be right here right now. So let me draw everything out. So if I'm going to draw this out, I bring out my horizontal support and resistance. I have a zone of interest right here. The next thing I do right here is I have a zone of interest right here. Okay. Now you can see how the chart is coming into perspective. The next thing is what I now finally have a zone of interest right on this level. You see the support, and pricing to find the resistance right here. So let me clear this off. Can you see that? Now it puts everything into perspective. And now, just looking at this, you kind of understand what the market is doing right now. You can understand the price is turning this area of support into a potential resistance. Now, what would be your bias on the lower time frame? Definitely, you're going to be looking for a sell on this trade. So this is the importance and the power of using the horizontal support and resistance to find the key value areas. So don't worry, not everyone will be able to draw this effectively at the first time. And that is why I have a tweak, a shortcut for you guys to be able to draw it. So let's take it out. Let us draw it over again as beginners. So one thing I tell all my students I mentor is, if you're finding it very hard to draw this area, because why? Number one, you might be having, you can see all this weak, candlestick weak is longer than these, then this is shorter, then this is shorter, and this is, long. You can see all this candlestick creates noises of imbalance in the market in such a way that you will not be able to specify. Now, you can imagine if you want to draw all of this from this level, you will be getting the wrong information. So what do? You put, either you're using a trading view or using M4, there's always a line chart feature, which is right here. So let me identify it right here. This feature right here on the M4, you click on it, right? When you click on it, what it does is it puts your, sorry, it's not that one. It's this one right here, line chart. And when you hover your mouse around it, you can see it's going to write it out, line charts, right? So what does this do for you? It actually removes all the noises from the candlestick. Now you can have the real-time data, which is here. You can see here, here. You can see it right here, here. So what do? It helps you to be able to draw your zones, across the areas it covers effectively. When you put it on your candlestick chart, you can see it right here. So you can do the same thing for all that areas of value in the market. You see it right here. It helps you to cover all the zones better, right? You can see the zone, these zones, it says resistance right here, right? and you can see the support level right here. You see how you can be able to cover all the zones, effectively. So what is the point? The point is, if you're finding it hard to draw with candlestick, I just gave you guys a secret cheat that you can actually use to draw the support and resistance zone. When you put it back, you can see it right here. So now it's left for you now to go to the lower time frame and find your different opportunities as we got this area. So now, before I call it a day, let me show you guys, let's back test a little bit, and let's see how we can actually use this to actually find an actual trading you know opportunities with the horizontal support and resistance tool to forming a key value area and using it to finding trading opportunities. So there was let me go to maybe like the US, the CHF. I remember I took so much trade opportunities on this market. So the first thing we want to do is, let's now do it together. Let's identify. This is a back test anyways of previous trades, right? You can see it says level. So the first thing I want to do is identify this level. So I have a value area right here where the market has been rejected in the past. So let's pay attention again. I have support right here. You can see this candlestick support right here. You can see this resistance right here, resistance right here. This is a failed, break. And now you can see support right here. You can see this candlestick resistance right on this level. So what do I do right here? I identify this level out. So what do I have right here? You can see everything right here. It says support right here, support, resistance, resistance. For fail break, now we have a support. Now I have another area right there. So let's move to the downside a bit. So I have a support right here, support right here, support right here. And you can put it on the line chart to see clearly, right? Everything is right there. It puts everything in perspective and it saves you, a lot of like confusion. So let me identify this right here. So I have a zone right here. So from just all of these levels right here, I've seen so many trade opportunities already. So the first one is when price got to this level and price got to this level, I could have actually taken a trade opportunity up to this next level. So let's look at it, right? Let me come back to the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, this is what it looked like. And I remember I traded this very well. So as at that time, I'm looking at this area as my area of interest. Okay, prices we tested in the past. You can see right here, right here, and prices we tested right here. And I'm waiting patiently to see what the market is going to do. So what did the market do? I begin to identify my structure, which is what bring it back lower high, lower high, lower high. At the point, this was the last lower high right here, and now I have a new lower high right here. So what did I do? When price made the last lower high, I kept bringing out my lower highs and lower lows and all of that. When price got to this level right here, so let me change this color so that it's much more obvious. So when price got to this level, I waited for a break. The moment I found the break and retest right here, I got into my trade right on this continuation, and my goal was to take my profit at the next support level, which is very obvious right here. Can you see? You can see support and this support level. So what did I do? Took my trade upon this retest, put my stop loss right behind the last low, about I think 64 pips about that time. And you can see right here when price going to the zone, I'd already made 278 pips, which is a very fantastic one. I just didn't stop there, right? I saw another trade opportunity of this level because now I can see that this is a very strong level. You can see strong level of prices right here. So what do I do again? I identify my low, 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 and I saw this low right here. So what did I do? The moment this low got broken, now you can see I'm using the horizontal support and resistance with my line chart, which is the first basic example I showed you in the beginning to finding my trade opportunity. The moment I got this break right here, I remember I got this break right here and I got this retest right here. I got into this trade and my goal was to sell it back down to the zone. right? I sold it right back to this zone, and you can see it right here. So when price was, the moment price replaced got here, it gave me a false break right here. It gave me this break. The moment it respected it back, I wanted to see if price was going to break this last low, because as at that time, this was the last low. So let me bring it back, right? So all I have to do is just identify the last low. So wait, you can see this high, 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 sorry, high, high. This was the last high at that point in time. So I actually brought out my rectangle right here, and this was my resistance right here. Like, really simple. The forex market is simple. My goal is, if price should break this, I'm definitely just gonna find an entry right here and put my stop loss behind the last low. It never happened, and I never took the trade, right? But look at something really interesting. When price finally gets back to this level and broke this last high right here, I saw it as a trade opportunity. I waited for this push. I waited for this exhaustion. And after price started to move and it broke this level, I put my stop loss right here and I put my TP right to this next zone. And when price got to this next zone, what do I do again? I identify my last high, 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 low. You can see this, higher low, higher low, higher low has been happening in the past, and this was the last one. What did I do? Let me take it off. I brought out my rectangle again, because this was another very strong zone. You can see, so it's a key value area. The moment price broke it, what did I do again? I sold back down to this level. This month, this particular season, I made a whole lot of money from the market, right? So now look at this, right? Price started to move on a lower high. You can see another lower high again. This lower high, the moment it got broken right here, what did I do again? I saw that this level right here was now respecting. I brought out my rectangle right back, right? The moment it gave me this break, I put my entry right up on this break and close, and I put my stop loss right below this point, right? And I actually bought this to this level, right? Now, this is the first time price was going to break the zone. I broke it right here. I never got into the market right at this level. The only time that I got into the market was when price got to this level. And when you look at this level right here, you know, bring it back to perspective, you can see that this is the level of this resistance, resistance, and resistance. And I was looking that if I could find an entry opportunity right at that point. Was I able to find an entry opportunity? Yes, I was able to find an entry opportunity. The moment the last low got broken right to this point right here, I found my entry opportunity. You could have said, why didn't I enter up on this break? But no, this was the last low at that point in time. So the moment price gave this low, I got into this trade right at this retest, and I saw the right back, right? So now, as we proceed, let me give you a relevance to the last one. Now, remember I said, this is the last thing I'm going to say before I call it a day. Remember I said this was the first break and this was the resistance, right? Now, which finally turned into a support right here. The moment price got to this level, right here, I looked in for a buy, and that was the first example I made earlier, right? And I waited for this lower high, this last lower high to get broken, right at this point, and I got into my trade on the 1 hour time frame, and I was able to actually buy it to, that next zone. And I remember I was able to even still sell this point after this break right here, right here, and I put my stop loss somewhere around this point, and I made a heck load of it. So the point is, this happens so much in the market, right? You can see it on so many areas of the market, right? I could literally, all you have to do is put it on the line chart. You can literally map out these different zones out in the market, right? Either bigger zone, smaller zone, as the case may be. You see it right here. You see this right here, which is what? Resistance, support. Let me change this to red. You can see right here, resistance, support, reaction, support, now resistance. You can see resistance, resistance. Now you can see resistance right here, support right here, support right here, and price is approaching this level. So I could still actually bring this to the upside, to this point right here. So what this does is it puts everything into perspective. If you put it on the 4 hour time frame, you're going to see that you have a clear zone of what price is doing, right? So as you can see that if you had actually, you know, wanted to trade this, look at the current market price, I could have easily found, an entry right at this point, because I know there's a new zone right here and I might be selling to this point. So it gives me an idea of where to sell to, where to take my trade from. If I was buying, if I was going to be selling this, I would have sold this right here to this level, and it goes on and on and on and on. So it helps you simplify your chart. So just looking at this tells you the next move might be to this level. And what do? You wait on price on this level, and all you got to do is identify the lower high, wait for the lower high around this point. If price give you a retest like this, you can still buy back to this level. This very simple stuff. So essentially, the horizontal support and resistance, for the most part of its major job, is it helps you to simplify your chart. It helps you to simplify your chart, right? It gives perspective to everything that you're doing on the chart. So I employ you guys to practice this in the market. And there's the final part, which is you can see how I'm not using the horizontal support and resistance alone to decide my trade opportunities. I use it alongside with the trend line. I use it alongside with the structure change. I can use it alongside with the Fibonacci as well. So let me give you an example just looking at this chart. If I bring my Fibonacci right from this level to this level, it tells me that this is my 61.8 Fibonacci. Now, 61.8 Fibonacci is actually happening around this area of zone, making it a very strong area. It could have actually increased my bias for a sell on this trade, actually, right? So if you want to understand how to use the horizontal support resistance with other tools like the trendline Fibonacci, go to my last video, which I'm gonna add the link above, right now, that you can see right now, and you can see that I explained everything right there on the last video I did with how to use the horizontal support resistance with trendline Fibonacci to take trades. And this is just a basic introduction to how to use the horizontal support and resistance. And if you practice this very well, this is going to improve your trading. And if you needed more deeper insight, I'll definitely recommend that you sign up for my mentorship course, or join my VIP signal group, where I share, analysis weekly with students, and we take the same trade. And I implore you to join my free Telegram channel as well. I drop every now and then, I drop one or two informations. The link are all in the description. You can get me directly on Telegram and text me for you to get signed up. You can share this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on notification to get more and more of this. So in summary, what have we been able to do so far? We define what horizontal support and resistance is. We identify and highlighted, let's get back to the whiteboard. We define what horizontal support and resistances are. We highlighted, the principle, the basic principle. We identified the types of variation with live example, back-tested example. We showed you guys how to trade, this horizontal support and resistance. We show you how to use this horizontal support and resistance into key value area zone, which we now bring perspective to your trading, and simplify your trading to different zones that price might be reacting, and how to trade them effectively. So you go into the market, go look for many and many of this example. Thank you guys so much. For any question, you can drop comment below. I'll be able to answer you. If you need further guidance, you can check the link, my Telegram link in description, to access me directly, to sign up for mentorship, to ask questions. I'm available to answer your questions. And thank you guys so much, and watch out for the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you.